native Tagalog speaker?
No, not native. My mom is.
What's that?
My mom's native.
Oh, okay. Who coached you on diction? Did you coach on diction?
We had
Last
somebody
last year.
She
She
got
did.
Okay.
part.
That's fantastic. Great to hear. Our Taiko group, I mentioned Taiko before. Our Taiko group is actually on tour in Thailand and the Philippines this summer, concert tour. So first time in Manila for me this June, so looking forward to that. So a couple things. I'm going to work backwards a little bit. You know, at the very end, dum da dum dum dum, bum 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 bum. You know that little phrase? It rushes. It totally rushes. And that's that. They're the same length note all in a row, and this one's actually at a bright tempo. But it's like the little, it's eighth note, eighth rest, eighth note, eighth rest, eighth note, eighth rest, etc. Those eighth rests are getting shorter and shorter through that bar, right? So really be subdividing in your head. We all, you know, this is a cliche, right? In music, subdivide and conquer, right? So we always think about how we subdivide or think of a smaller beat. So beat da da ba bum ba bum bum bum. It's not just thinking quarter note, dum da dum 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 ba bum 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 bum. Because what's happening is dum da dum 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 dum. Right now. Think. So you really think of how full those rests are. Can we just do that phrase? Maybe, you tell me where a good place to start is that. Possible start.
Maybe start right before that.
Dum da dum dum dum. Bum bum. Yeah, the bar before that. This is the top bar 100, I guess. Yeah. Do you know where I am? Does that make sense? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now we know where we are. And 1, 2, here we go. Sorry, you started further back than I thought it was. Yeah, they're at 90. They're at pickups to 96.
They're here.
That's where you started, right? Yeah. Like 4 bars before. Okay, start there again. Then, when we get to that section where everyone's unison, unirhythmic, da, 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 just watch and really think of subdivision. So this is pick up to 96, I think they're doing. Right. Here we go. 1, 2, ready? Can you make the eighth note pickups acutely in time? It's like I'm counting it off, and then we're going bum, bum, bum. By the middle of the next bar, it's pretty nicely in time. The first 3 notes are pretty mushy. Okay, here we go. Here's a picture again. Da. 1, 2, 3. So, can you make, because you know we're starting there, and that's an L at the beginning for the sopranos and altos, I think. Wait, what was that? Yeah, sopranos and altos. Can you have the tongue in place and just flick it away? If I'm on counting, you're trying to find where it goes, and then by the time that 8 note pickup happens, your tongue still isn't in place, it's going to be mushy. Da da, right? Here we go again. And 1, 2, 3. It says sempre stringendo. Do you do much of that or no? Like, can we give it a try? It actually says that the line above, poco a poco stringendo, just this acceleration, and it kind of increased excitement. The other thing is right after the dum bum 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 ding da dum ba dum ba dum. You know, each successive voice. Okay, can you make that sa of the next? Is that how you pronounce it? Just sa. Sa. Okay. Yeah. Can you make that actually? It's the thing of getting into the vowel right away. The S has to come a little early, so the happens right where the note head is written. Because otherwise, that stacking in technique, dee, da, da, ba, da, ba, da, it loses a little bit of energy, right? Let's start at the same place from there to the end. I'm going to push the tempo at the end, just push. There we go. And much better on the not rushing that one spot. 1, 2, 3. It takes some rehearsal to actually figure out how to line up your vertical ensemble, how the notes vertically line up. The other thing, the dotted rhythm, tenors and basses on the penultimate bar, da 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 da. I don't actually hear the short note, which is not a surprise just because of how fast it's going. But if you think of how important that short note is, da 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 da. Really think about like accent. Can we just do just a hair of this slow section in the middle? Pick up to 64. This is sopranos and altos. There's a spot about 3 to 4 bars in where it'd be nice to hear no breath. And I'm hearing some people breathing and catch a breath and some people not. If you could stagger breathe in the sopranos and altos around that, well, basically 10 actually. I'll show you where it is. Okay, so here's the C pickups going into that. Yeah, exactly. Sing on and just hold it out of time. Can you just take the breath with the vowel in that, the mouth and shape of that vowel, what I like to call the breath vowel. Let's go on. And dog. So let's start this softer. What is the dynamic at the beginning of this full section? Piano. Are you singing piano? Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. It's a lovely sound, but it doesn't sound like piano. Think of all the energy you do in a mezzo forte or a forte, and you're compressing that energy into a much smaller space, and that's where your piano is. It doesn't lose focus, it doesn't lose resonance, but it's just less decibels, right? Okay, on. Yeah, that's a weird surprise and a difficult to sing into. Think of it as, where's your actual target? Da is the next note, right? Think of it as just a half step above rather than trying to drop a tritone from above. Sing ah basses. Ah. Next. Tends to want to sit high. And again. There's the target. So we can bottom octave, which I can't do right now. Think of that relationship, right? Okay, good. And then we're back into fast tempo. The only other thing at the very beginning, I wrote. I can't read my writing. Can you just start the beginning? Maybe I'll hear it again. Can you just start the beginning? Sorry, here's the middle C. And begin. 1, 2, 3, and. Oh, I know what it was. And the dynamic difference is really nice. Super effective, this hairpin. Crescendo has good energy to it. The diminuendo, decibels-wise, is effective, but it feels like the tone relaxes so much it feels sleepy as it gets softer. Can you even think of even more resonance? And earlier in the session I was saying lift your eyes while you're singing soft. Do you know this is not just because it looks like you're not sleeping, but the thing is when you lift your eyes, it raises all the resonance cavities behind the mask, right? All the nasal cavities and everything just get taller when you lift your eyes. So you keep the resonance in the tone, even though it gets softer. Can we go from the beginning again? Here's the C. 1, 2, 3, ah. Don't let the vowels get sloppy. Same thing here. Better! Yeah. So remember consistency of color, if that's a goal. I think here it's a legitimate goal. Consistency of color and resonance as you get softer. So you deploy those tools that help you with that. One of them is actually lifting your eyes taller so that it forces all the resonance cavities inside your head to go taller. Yeah. Okay. We kind of need to get over to the church. Is that okay to start walking there? I wish we had more time.
I wish we had more time.
I remember, I have to have a seat for 1 second. I remember from the last visit, Crossing Choir back in 2017, and then we were going to have one in 2020, and that was the when the pandemic kind of shut down the world, right? And then I remember we were looking even at 21 when we were starting to come back, and Stanford was still like no high school was visiting campus. It was just really frustrating, but I remember from the time you visited before that we worked together. One of the things I super appreciate, and you should know this, I work with dozens of groups every year, high school, collegiate, and community, and et cetera, et cetera. And I love it when choirs can turn on a dime and do things I ask of them, even though maybe we disagree. It's gonna change after you walk out the door, totally cool. But things like keeping resonance in your voice, or making sure the rests line up for shaping a phrase. I love it when choirs can do that the first time I ask, and not have to do it again and again and again and again, and God, it's still not right, right? So I really appreciate that. It's really good training.